Hello and welcome to this video about idioms you can use in your IELTS speaking exam. So, welcome to this new idiom lesson from the IELTScoach.com. And as we did in the first video, I will give 5 idioms that you could use for certain questions in the speaking exam. And I will give some examples and the type of questions you could use them for. So let's get started with our first idiom, which is like pulling teeth. If something is like pulling teeth, means it's very difficult to do, or it's not something that people want to do. It's very uncomfortable or painful, like pulling teeth would be. So for example, for me, sometimes getting students to do homework is like pulling teeth. They never want to do it. They always try to avoid it. So when you're talking about an experience that people don't enjoy and don't want to do, you can use the expression, it's like pulling teeth. Next, we'll move on to a more positive idiom, like a kid in a candy store. This is to describe a situation where you feel happy and excited about something, or when you're in a place that makes you happy or excited. So personally, for me, whenever I visit a new bookshop, I like visiting bookshops. I feel like a kid in a candy store. I'm surrounded by new books. I'm surrounded by lots of information, and I really enjoy visiting bookstores. So we can use this expression when we talk about being in a place that we enjoy being. Moving on to more negative and probably a much more common idiom for most of you, under the weather. So to say that you are under the weather refers to not feeling very well. You feel sick or you feel ill. So I was feeling a little bit under the weather, so I decided not to go out on Saturday evening. Okay, if you're describing your weekend perhaps, or describing what you did last night, you can say what you didn't do or where you didn't go because you were feeling sick or you were feeling under the weather. Next, we'll move on to easy as pie. Just means that something is very easy and simple to do. So I might say that learning and preparing for IELTS is easy as pie. Well, it's easy for me. It may not be easy for you. But if something is simple and easy for you to do, you can use this expression. And finally, our 5th idiom for today, no spring chicken. So we use no spring chicken to describe someone who is not so young. So they are not very young. A spring chicken is a very young chicken that is very active and does active things. But we can use this to describe someone who's a bit older, but maybe they still do active things. Maybe they are still quite active. So I might say, my uncle is no spring chicken, but he still enjoys action sports like skydiving and bungee jumping. Okay, so he's not young, but he still does activities associated with young people. So no spring chicken to describe someone who's a little bit older. So those are 5 idioms that you could use in certain situations in the speaking exam. But remember, always when we are using idioms, don't use them because you think you have to. Use them because they're appropriate. Use them because the question that you are asked matches to an idiom that you are aware of. Use idioms in the IELTS exam only if you have used it many times in your normal everyday life. If you get comfortable using an idiom, then it will come across much more naturally in the exam. Certainly don't try using an idiom for the first time when you're doing the IELTS exam. Use something that you have done before and people have responded positively about. So thank you for watching that lesson. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to get access to more IELTS video lessons, and watch another video now so you can continue practicing and improving for the IELTS exam. Thank you and goodbye.